Hello. Happy Friday. We made it to Christmas break. Who's on Christmas break officially after today? I'm not quite there yet, but I will be soon. Woo woo. Oh my gosh. We are going to, yay, Kate. Welcome to the Broken Chapter Society. It has been a busy week, but I am excited for the break. I'm excited for the new year. I'm excited for all the things that are coming up. So much goodness. My hair, I was like going crazy this morning. I had teacher gifts to take. I had shopping to do. Um, Seven Brew, which is now like my favorite coffee place. They have energy drinks too, and they've been having their like 12 days of Christmas or something like that. And so every day it's been like get a coffee and you get a sticker, or you get buy one get one free. And today was buy one get one free energy drinks. So this is my second one of the day, and we're going to see how that pans out later tonight. It might be literally the worst decision of my life. Seven Brew is so fun. I love it. Almost there. Just have to finish the last few edits of book 5 and format it by Monday. Yes, season 1 is done. Jenna, so proud of you. You're doing amazing. Gift wrapping hell. I have not gift wrapped a darn thing, not one single thing, but it is okay. Ooh, have my coffee right now. Cold brew with cream and pumpkin. That sounds so good. Yeah, exactly. That might be me. I'm so glad that you are all here. This is my newest bookish shirt. This is from Piper and Ivy. It's just like a little bookshelves with the books and I'm like, should we have candles this close to books? Sure. Let's do it. This one is called a love potion. I have no idea what's in it. We're not going to ask, but since we're talking about Project 48 today, this kind of drink will be off my menu. So I'm just enjoying it while I can, because I'm not going to be drinking stuff that's quite that sugary in the new year, but it's all going to be okay. Kelly, I just saw Seven Brew is now semi-local to me, about 25 minutes away. I thought of you. You should go try them. My highest recommendation, my favorite thing from there is the brunette, which is like a mocha coffee. And I get it 1/4 sweet. So you can tell them how sweet you want stuff. And I'd get it 1/4 sweet. And it is quite delicious. Not too sweet, but nice and chocolatey. It's so good. Starting my 3rd cup of coffee. Yay. At least I'm not the only one that's just going to be completely like wired today. It's all going to be good. Yes. And happy 1st birthday to Kelly's little guy this week. That's so crazy. It's been a year. So hard to believe. And George and I, of course, celebrated our 15th wedding anniversary yesterday. And, my ring is still not in. So it has been very weird after, like, we've been married 15 years, but we were engaged for almost 2 years. So I've been wearing this ring on my hand for 17 years, and it feels really weird to not have a ring. And they called and said it's going to be another few weeks. So my ring is not here, but he did give me some little Tokidoki Hello Kitty blind boxes, and he got me a Stony Clover Lane like a giant pouch that has a heart on it, and it says plans, and it fits my planner, and I'm very excited about that. Oh, your parents were engaged for 5 years. We decided to do kind of a little long engagement, I guess, because it just felt appropriate. We're like, just going to enjoy this stage of our lives. George surprised me with my original engagement ring. He has upgraded the diamond. So I'm getting a bigger diamond, but they have to rebuild the crown of the ring, and it's taking longer than they thought. So it's fine. It'll be gorgeous and worth it when it gets here. What did George get? George gets me, Nina. No, I'm just kidding. George got a Pixel phone, one of the new, whatever the new Google phone is. So he kind of gets that almost every year or every couple of years, I guess. So, but he likes the technology. He's a really hard guy to buy for. Me, I'm very easy to buy for. Like, you find me anything Hello Kitty, you find me anything bookish, you find me anything bookish t-shirts. Like, I love all things. I'm just happy with anything. George is very difficult to buy for because he's just not, maybe it's because I'm more materialistic and he's not materialistic at all, which, what does that say about me? I don't know. But I also would be fine with nothing. I feel like we've had anniversaries before where we've had nothing but just gone out together. So, but yeah. That is what George has, is an Enso silicone ring. And his literal, like, it was so funny because he was packaging books today, which Casey, yours is one of them. And his ring broke. His silicone Enso ring broke. And he was like, well, neither one of us have rings. So we'll go out to tomorrow night to date night and just be like wild on the town, like we're first night dating. Kids again. No, we're just silly. We went out to dinner last night with the kids to Olive Garden, which was super fun. I'm just carb loading, like Olive Garden, 2 energy drinks. We'll see if I pass out by the end of the weekend. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, glad your hubby likes books. That makes it a lot easier, doesn't it? They do break eventually. Yeah, I think he's had that one for 5 years. I mean, he's had it for a long time. So he was looking to buy one more. I know. I'll be like, I'm going to go sit at the other end of the bar. You see if you can pick me up. Yay. I'm so glad you like my shirt. This is Piper and Ivy. They have the cutest bookish shirts. And they have really good prices, and they're really cute shirts. Highly recommend. Christmas carbs don't count. I like those rules. I'm happy with that. Olive Garden is so good. It was so good. Where'd that comment go? It was delicious. And the kids had a good time. Evie loves spaghetti, except she, of course, is a little 5-year-old. So she says Paschetti, and it just makes me, just every time she says it just makes me happy. I buy fuzzy socks for everyone, so no one over the age of 10 is ever disappointed. I love it. That's so good. Oh, you have a Piper and Ivy credit. I don't have a link specifically, but this is the title, the name of the company on the screen. So if you just search Piper, I think it's just piperandivy.com. They have bookish t-shirts. Oh my gosh, it is a nightmare, Janine. You're right. I told George, though, I was like, tonight we need to go just look at everything we have for the kids, because I haven't wrapped anything, and just see if we have enough stuff, because I usually tend to buy too much, but I feel like I haven't really done enough shopping this year, but maybe that's okay, actually. Yeah, Sarah. So what we're going to call this is, and I don't want to get into too much, like we're talking about it and answering questions for 20 minutes, but Hardy's Con is in process, and I can't officially put stuff on sale until I have a contract in place. So that's why the sales page hasn't gone up yet. But I can tell you that it is happening March 19th. We are having a Hardy's Con. I'm just going to call it Hardy Con 2025 New Orleans. And it has a little subtitle of something like an all-intensive author strategy workshop day, something like that. But basically, it will be a full day from around 9 a.m. to about 5 p.m. with a lunch break in between in New Orleans on March 19th. And it will be all day intensive to strategize your author career. Basically, like, what series am I going to write? How am I going to release them? How do I want to market my books? How am I going to plan to keep this sustainable? What do I really want? Vision work and stuff like that. So it's kind of like your path forward and Publish and Thrive like made a little baby, and that's what this is going to be. And it'll be small group roundtables depending on how many people are there. I have no idea at this point if it's going to be 10 people or 100 people, but there will be a limit of 100 people will be the most that we'll let in. I don't anticipate that it will be that big, but the more the merrier. And then we will also go to dinner on our own or as a group. I haven't decided that yet, but then we will have we'll have an evening sort of PJ party. You don't actually have to wear PJs, but I did get them to give me the room until 11 p.m. so that we can do some actual like writing and small group strategizing and just some like more fun stuff in the evenings together that night. And then throughout the rest of the conference, which will be Writer MBA Con, we'll be getting together in the mornings and then maybe one other get together in the afternoons. And there will be a VIP option where you will get 1 hour one-on-one with me while we're there in New Orleans. And then you will also get a one-on-one hour with me after the conference to go over your cover art and your strategy and all of that kind of stuff. So there will only be 10 VIP tickets. So pricing on the surface will be $699 for the ticket for my conference and the Writer NBA conference. And so you don't have to go to the full conference, but it is part of the ticket. So you can choose not to go, but there's not a cheaper price for it because I'm not paying for the rooms. Russell and Monica pay for the conference. So it's kind of like we're sort of, there's agreements on the back end for me to be able to get it because I don't have a contract with the hotel. So it's like you get mine, you go to both, but there's not a cheaper discount to just go to one. And this is not for the mastermind. This is for the Writer MBA conference. So it's $699 on the front end. That's like the high price, but there will be coupons for people who have taken Publish and Thrive or HB90. And there will be an early bird price that will be more like $499, and that will be the lowest it will be. And there will only be so many tickets available at that, and then it will go up to $599 for anybody who's taken it. So those are the prices, and there will be a 2 or 3 month payment plan, and then the VIP will probably be $999. So that's like the pricing, and I know that is like super fast, and there's probably a lot of questions, but I think it'll be $999, Casey, which actually is very inexpensive. And Mel was like, maybe it needs to be $14.99. And I was like, no, I think $9.99 would be best. So yeah, I know it's really fast. So if you can't come this time, we'll try to do it together another time. The payment plans will just be like a 2-pay or a 3-pay. So if you pay $5.99, whatever that is, divided by 3, right? But they'll have to all be paid before the event. And like I said, there will be more details coming soon, but I don't want to spend the whole day talking about it because there's probably people that don't care about it. But the sales pages will go up soon. Anyone waiting for the HB90 digital, it will go up soon. It's almost done. Also, I sent out a huge batch of books. And we also have a huge batch of books ready to get stamped and go out. I'm going to try to get some of that done today, but I also go live in just a couple of hours for the previous thing or for the HB90. So I don't know that they'll go out today, but they will go out tomorrow. And so by tomorrow morning, everybody who ordered books in 2023 or who won books and stuff in giveaways will all be sent out. So that will be at least really great. It has been hours and hours and hours of work. And I know everybody who ordered books this year is like, okay, I still don't have my books. They're coming. They're coming. We'll work on it all next week. However, it felt really good to get hundreds of books out this week. And so they are on the way. Many of them are on the way. Hopefully some of them will be there before Christmas. But the rest of them will start to arrive as soon as possible. So that feels really good. So that is leading us into Project 48, because as I start thinking about all of the plans for the new year, all the things that I'm trying to get ready and all the things that I want to do next week, as I start to take a break, I'm really thinking a lot about turning 48 in January and what happens when I had wanted to do a 6 months for life or a Project 48 leading up to my 48th birthday, but it has been so busy. I've got probably more days than I want to admit that I have worked until 2 or 3 in the morning. And that is not the life I want to live. You will get a shipping notification. Everybody gets a shipping notification when it goes out, and yours are signed. So they will go out either today or tomorrow. They're signed, but not stamped. And as soon as I stamp it, that's when it'll send you a notification with a tracking number. So it's on its way. But I want multiple things, and tell me if you can relate to this, which I know many of you can. I want to do more than ever, but I want to be less busy. So then the question is, how in the world do we do that? What? I was like, what is this? What is this? You know what that is? It's Evie's reindeer food. Anybody do that at school? It's like crushed up peppermint with oatmeal, and we're supposed to sprinkle it outside in the yard on Christmas Eve. But I did not know what that was for a minute. I was like, what in the world is this? Those kind of nights are not sustainable because it's really hard. But just to get Disappearance of Vanessa Shaw out it felt like weeks of staying up super late, of being like, I will not let another year go by without a book release. I'm getting this book out. And so it was like staying up till 6 in the morning, staying up till 3 in the morning, staying up till 3. And it's not the way I want to be, but it was the way I felt I needed to be with as busy as I have been. Now, trying to get the planners out, the Your Path Forward done, get the books sent. It has been days where it's like I'm spending 5 hours on the planner, 4 hours on videos, 6 hours on packaging books. And that's all in one day where I'm still trying to like have a child in my lap. And it has taken a lot of effort, which is not me trying to complain at all, because I'm grateful for every piece of that. Like I am grateful to my core for every piece of it, for every book order, for everybody who waited for Vanessa Shaw, for everybody who has taken a course. Like I'm pouring my whole self into these things and I love it. But I'm also understanding 48 is 2 years from 50. And no matter what age you're at, it is very difficult to sustain, even if I was 16, that level of work. And I know, because I teach classes on this, how to do something different. But in the end, to do something different means that I have to change my priorities. And so I'm coming at this from a couple of different ways for people that are, in a similar type of position. Number one, but see, I'll go into this. Like, I know I teach it, but sometimes you can teach it and not always have the ability to follow through on it the way that you want to also, which is why I know how to teach it, because I know what people are doing. So when people are like, why are you calling me out like that? I'm like, because I do it too. And because I know and I relate. And you know what? Some of the worst teachers I ever had were people that were like, well, I never struggled with this, but let me tell you how to fix it. Because I'm like, you don't know how to fix it if you never struggled with it. You're just telling me how to be perfect, and I can't be perfect. So when I think about 2 years from 50, I think every time I hit a new decade, like 30 hit me hard, 40 hit me hard, and 50 is already starting to hit. I'm like, okay, who do I want to be in my 50s? Like, I want my 50s to be the best decade yet. And I want for it to be, I feel like it has a potential to be the decade of my life where all the work that I have put in for all this time finally comes together. That decade of like all the healing that I've done, all the growth that I've done, all the community building that I've done, all the ways that I've poured myself into the world and like put my passion out there, all the ways that I've like poured into my books. Like, this is the year that it all comes together to create that like special life that I have wanted to live my whole life. See, exactly. I'm a life coach. I need to do my own coaching. I teach creative writing. I need to follow what I teach. I've heard so many people that are like, I'm a life coach, but I have a life coach, because we know, because we teach it, because we had to learn it ourselves, but it doesn't mean we're perfect at it. Right. Yeah, big 3-0 sometimes, like 3-0 hit me hard. It's like, it's just one of those things sometimes where it's like a new year, a big birthday can just bring some awareness to your life, right? And so that decade comes, and I'm thinking about how it's only a couple of years away before a big transition in decade for me. Plus, I do think that there is evidence that things go in 7-year cycles. And I have definitely come to the end of a 7-year cycle, and I'm in the beginning of a new 7-year cycle. So we've got both of those things kind of coming together, of like a 7-year cycle ending, but also looking forward to a new decade in just a couple of years. And yes, LaShawn, yes, that is exactly it. That is what you just like spoke to my heart with that word. It's like, I want my 50s to be the decade of harvesting, like belief that all that work has just been under the surface waiting to bloom, to like come to harvest. And I want to be ready for it. I want to be ready when that moment hits. And I am not ready, because there are still too many ways that I'm not taking care of myself, evidenced by staying up too late at night, not eating foods that are good for PCOS, really putting still too much on my plate than what I want to. Still not being healed from certain things that I need to just be able to let go so I can truly be my most like authentic self. There's a lot of that stuff I still want to do. And then I've got the thought and the pressure of, I have let my fans down in a lot of ways because I have taken so long to write these books, like packaging up Eternal Sorrows, those first 3 books, and George and I were just talking about, like, I know the ending of that series, so raise your hand if you've read the first 3 books of Eternal Sorrows. Oh, I've been following you for 5 years, half a decade. I've watched you grow and been growing with you. You do help us. Some of us are growing right along with you. Someone recently told me it's sometimes better to heal in community, so thank you for all you do. Thank you for that, and I love the purple presents. Thank you. Um, Eternal is your favorite. Yeah, there's something special about that series. Like those characters I love, and I know the end of that series. Like I know the end of that series. And when I think about the ending, I think it's going to be the best ending I've ever written. And George and I were just talking about it as I was packaging up some of the books, and I started crying and my whole body was in chills because I'm just like, oh, I need to write the end of that. And there are just so many ways that I'm like, I'm packaging up books that should have gone out a year ago. I'm packaging up books that people have been waiting for 3 years for an ending. And I know that in the grand scheme of things, like books take time to write, but it's also that feeling of like we live in a society where people are writing faster and faster than ever. And I feel like I'm not fully stepping into that. I'm still fractured, right? And it's going to be a little bit of a struggle it's not going to be a struggle, but it's going to be, I don't know exactly the right word to choose, but it's when I think about Project 48 and what I want to come out of 2025 is I want for it to be a year where I finally sort of find that balance, right? And I really don't mean for it to be beating myself up. It's just facing the truth of it. You know what I mean? And maybe that does sound like I'm beating myself up and maybe I am being too hard on myself, but I'm really not in a pity party kind of energy. I'm just in an energy of like, I can see the ways that I am doing so much that balls fall, right? We talk about juggling balls and knowing which ones are rubber and which ones are glass. Like I'm not letting any of the glass balls fall, but there are rubber balls that fall every day. And maybe we're all like this to a degree, but can I figure out a way to get systems, to get support, to get better at thinking through things faster, making decisions faster? Yeah, I can see the growth that's coming. I can see the potential. Thank you, Crystal. You gave away membership last time too. You are so kind and sweet. Crystal has been in this community for a long time, way before YouTube. So thank you for that. There's just, yeah, a second juggler. There are ways that I need to be able to ask for support when I need it. There are ways that I need to be able to say no when I can't add another thing to my plate without worrying that someone's going to be mad at me or someone's going to be disappointed or whatever. Like I just have to start being the boss of my business in a way, I guess. And so I'm thinking through all of that. So what I want to do, I'm going to kind of take you guys through a Notion tour just a little bit, not like a heavy one, but I just want to show you some of my like Notion plans, although it's not put together yet, is I want to put together Project 48 as I was originally thinking it's going to be six months for life, but it's really, I think I'm going to call Project 48 my whole year of growth, like starting in January, because my birthday's in January. We're just going to start it right at the beginning of January. And it is just going to be a year of growth and challenge and discipline. And I don't even want to say discipline as much as I want to say devotion, like devotion to what did you say, Envy? My favorite self, like not my best self, but my favorite self. Like radiant is my year, right? My word of the year. I want to step into the ability to be happy, to worry less anxiety. And I just want to nurture myself and really focus on, there's a word that I'm trying to think of. Focus on, I don't know. I can't get it to come to the surface. When you've got a word on the tip of your tongue, discernment, maybe. I want to have discernment over what is really worth my worrying, worth my time. Because I think I worry about fake scenarios too often. I worry about, oh, what if this person's mad? What if this is happening? What if I can't do this? And it's like, that thing has not happened yet. That thing is not happening. It's just me worried that it might happen. And that's where a lot of my anxiety comes from. And I want to have more discernment over, is that angry email, is that comment about this really worth me thinking about? Or can I just let that go? Right. There are too many times that I let negative comments, emails, things said about me, things, even just like things that aren't even that critical. It just bugs me because I want everyone to love me, because I grew up where I didn't always feel like I was loved and I need to prove myself. And it's kind of like, okay, I am loved. I am adored. I am friends with so many people. I am part of this community. We're all part of this together. It's time to get over it. And I just want to like shake myself on the shoulders and be like, just see things clearly, and I'm just in that place, I guess. Uh, selective hearing. Yeah, exactly. Like a dude, like what? And George is like that too. He's like, why do you care if they said that? I'm like, I don't know. It just hurts my feelings. Like, but why? I don't know. I do not know, but I know that it's not something I can just turn on and off like a light switch. But at the same time, I am ready to start learning a little bit more about how to just be happier, focus in on the things that are really the most important. And, it's not that I don't want to listen to criticism when it's valid, because that is helpful to make me better. But when it's just not something that's, doesn't make a difference, like, if from the outside you don't think I'm a good mom, I don't care. Like, that doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter, but I do care. Like, I do actually care. And I just want to stop caring as much. And I also want to keep healing, and I want to keep, I don't know. I can't even fully articulate it. I just feel like I can tell that I'm standing on the edge of a choice point in my life of like, everything I've been waiting for is just like piling up on the other side of a door, and all I have to do is open it. And it's my choice whether to open it or not. And I'm ready to open the door, and I'm scared and I'm terrified, and know it's going to require a different version of myself. And I don't think it's going to require like a better version. It just is going to require a truly more authentic and confident version of myself. And I'm emotionally ready. Inside, also terrified. Treat those comments like it's going to your younger self, and protect you just like you would protect her. Yeah, that is really wise, because if someone spoke to my daughter that way, I would just be like, oh no, no. And yeah, criticism can be cruel. But in the end, if it's just a random person on the internet being cruel to me, can I learn to not let it get in my head? That is a question that I've asked myself. I don't know if I can. I feel like I can. I feel like there's got to be tools I can use to get there. But that is probably the hardest part about wanting to take what you have and make it bigger, is because it's going to be bigger in a way that brings in exponentially more people who don't know me or know my heart. And like the amount of criticism that gets poured onto like Colleen Hoover and Rebecca Yarros and people that have gotten bigger careers. Like, I don't have an expectation of having that big of a career, but at the same time, like, you can just see it. And I am like, can I handle that? I hope that I can. If it's meant for me, I hope that I can handle it. So yeah, that's actually good. I have heard that before too. Will it matter in a day or a week? If not, don't think about it again. That's true. Sometimes, like the thing that was on the Guru Gossiper, those are people that watch every video and post about it every single day. And they're people that have taken Publish and Thrive, and people have taken HB90, because they talk about the videos inside the course. And that's like 2,000-3,000 posts, right? For 6 years of posting. So yeah, it's people in the community. It's people who are here watching Coffee Chat right now, right? And that sometimes gets hard too. And I don't know. I just got to get over it. I've been talking about it too much. I'm ready to get over it. So when I start thinking about Project 48 and I start thinking about who I want to be in this next year of my life and how I want to show up, I have to start thinking about the internal side of it, which is what I mean by radiate, right? Like radiant is my word. And what I want is like to focus in on myself so that I can have so much love for myself that all the work I do radiates out, right? And um yeah, yeah, people hate me so much they're willing to pay hundreds of dollars to get in, right? And then it becomes pure profit. I don't know. And it's such a small percentage of the community that it shouldn't even bug me at all, but it has to come up a little bit in conversation because it is part of the healing that I want to do, because I just want to step into a better era of myself, right? I'm just so ready. And so I've got a plan. We're all surprised I have a plan. So I'm going to show you a little bit of my Notion back end kind of thing here. Let's see. Oh, I'm not presenting it yet. Hold on. So this is my Notion dashboard. And actually, if I pull it out, I think I can make it a little bigger. Take up more of the screen. Let's see. It's a little bit better. All right, I'm going to make myself smaller. Let's go over here. Okay, so this is my Notion dashboard, and it has been the same for a while. So if you look, you can tell I didn't plan for Q4 2024 because it is like, Q3 2024 is what's on the screen, and that is 100% the last time that I touched this. So, oh, wrong one. Where'd it go? Let me find it. So I have not been using Notion much, but I'm about to like redo a bunch of this. So here you can see like my writing log has set up for this past year. I'm going to go through and change all of this to 2025 with with some of these covers, and you can kind of see some of this is sneak peeks of covers that you haven't seen yet. I'm going to be tracking my writing plans inside here. And I've got a little bit of it set up, but I'm going to be redoing this where it's going to be like, what's my intentions for the month? What book am I writing? And then there's going to be a word count tracker down here where I can actually keep track of how many words I'm writing. Part of what I'm doing for my writer stuff is I am going to start meeting with, so I have friends that I write with in the morning, and I did this more this year at the beginning of the year than I have been able to later in the year just because of some other things like that. And so it's Ness Johnson, Leslie Penelope, Theodora Taylor. We meet up in the mornings to write. And I have not been meeting up with them, but we're rededicating to me showing up to write with them. I'm also going to have an accountability on Mondays and Thursdays with basically a writing coach that's going to help me. She's going to be reading through stuff as I write it so that I can read it and she can be editing it before I read it on YouTube here for A Mirror of Shadows. Also, in the meantime, I'm going to be working on book 12 of the Shadow Demon saga. And so there's going to be a lot of that stuff going on. We'll also have all of the audiobooks for Shadow Demons will be coming out next year, and there probably will be a Kickstarter. So there's a lot of stuff to do, and I'm trying to already go ahead and get support in place for all of that. So the writing log piece of it is what you see here on this first page. And I did start in 2023 this like diary thing where I was going to do like a photo a day and have a diary in here, and I didn't really enjoy doing that or stick to it. So I'm going to be doing that in a paper planner. But over here on this content calendar, you'll be able to see that's where I'll be keeping the schedule for A Mirror of Shadows, and that will be probably Mondays and Wednesdays reading, and then Fridays coffee chat. That's kind of how I have it planned, but I'm going to be doing some polls inside the Broken Chapter Society to see kind of what you guys think. But that will be available to everybody, whether you're in Broken Chapter or not. And right now I'm anticipating the first chapter of A Mirror of Shadows will go up the first week of February, and it will be 4 books. and it'll be a new book every 2 months. So I'll read February and March will be book 1, April, May, book 2, June, July, book 3, August, September, book 4. And right now the plan is October, book 12 comes out. So let's all say a manifesting moment with a candle of like, please let me be able to stick to this, because it would just be so perfect to release book 12 in October, like during Spooktacular. I would be so ecstatic and happy. So that's the plan right now. But for Project 48, I was looking around at how I wanted to do things a little bit different. And so I actually, let me see if I can find it now. It doesn't seem to be here. This is my game board strategy stuff for everybody who was um, who was just inside our Your Path Forward. But there should be, oh my gosh, where'd it go? Oh, you know what? I think maybe it went over here somewhere. Here we go. Okay, so this is a template that I did not create. So this is a 2025, what they called a glow up planner. This was something I purchased off of Etsy, and I'm going to completely redo it, but it was like on sale for Black Friday for like $2, a Notion template. And I thought, I'm going to grab this because it looks so pretty, and I'm going to see if I can turn it into something for my 2025. So just to kind of show you a little bit of it, it's got the same clock that I had, but in a different color. And then it's got these drop downs that have planners and a vision, like some vision boards and the things that you want to like manifest into your life. So like has different things like romance, career, health, relationships, finances, daily affirmations. And I'm going to change the vibe of this because I'm not really like a neutral kind of person, but there's also like a habit tracker in here and other routines and stuff that you can do. And so I'm going to take this and I'm going to redo it for my own version of a tracker basically, but it has a lot of good stuff to start. And I thought, okay, I do not want to have to reinvent the wheel. So I'm going to use someone else's wheel, so to speak, but I'm going to redo all these images. I'm going to redo some of the stuff, and I'll probably be deleting some of it. I don't know if I'll keep the reading journal and stuff like that, but I'm going to keep some of these routines and stuff. So I just kind of wanted to show you a little bit of the vibe of the Notion template that I'm going to use. And if anybody is interested in this exact template, I can find a link for it and post it for you. It was very inexpensive. So that is an overview of my Notion template that I'm going to be revamping, and I will share it with you when I start moving forward. I don't know what motion is, honestly. I heard someone else say something about motion. But I don't know what that is. I'd have to look it up. Yeah, I will find the link. Somebody, Angela, are you here? Renee, I know Renee's here. Renee, remind me to post that link. I'll post it in the Discord and the Facebook group for anybody that wants it, because it was a pretty inexpensive one, and it's really easy to just go in and change it for yourself. But I'm going to be creating for myself basically like a syllabus. So anybody here love learning that you are just like, it's so much fun for you if you wish you could be a student for your whole life. It's an AI scheduling productivity tool. I haven't heard of it before, so I have no idea if it's like that. Thank you, Renee. I will post that. But yeah, I know it's academic validation is my calling. That's so fun. Yeah, like making your own classes, making your own I just always was a lifelong student. Now, I know not everybody is like that, but I love to learn, and it is so much fun to create. Like, I love reading books about craft. I love reading books on writing and on marketing. I love books on personal growth. I have in my, I don't think I can share it, but on my Chrome tab, you have bookmarks. I have one called courses for all the courses that I've purchased, and it's so long I can't even scroll to the bottom in like 30 seconds. I have purchased so many courses from people. Many of them I have not taken, but it's just that futuristic combined with the learner in me that's like, someday I'm going to take that class and it's going to change my life. And I have decided that something fun that sort of makes me feel alive and feel energetic is to go through that list of the courses that I've purchased, like anything that is like a personal growth course, a manifestation course, a budgeting course or, anything like that I have taken or purchased in the past. I'm going to go through and pick out the ones that will go on my syllabus for my 48th birthday. And then I also have some podcasts that I want to listen to. There are books that I want to read. There are people that I want to kind of hang out with online, I guess, so to speak, and learn from. And so I'm going to be creating for myself sort of a monthly syllabus. And so that piece that you were looking at that has the writing like January, February, March, and so on for my writing journal, I'm going to be recreating something like that as a study syllabus for myself. So January, I'm going to have very specific courses that I want to take or videos I want to watch, podcasts I want to listen to, so that I am kind of adding into all the work that I do in terms of writing books, making videos, etc., where I feel like I'm creating an outpouring. I'm going to be creating a goal specific to myself, and I'm creating a schedule where I will have time every single day, at least an hour, to work on pouring back into myself with courses and books and learning. And I'm going to be basically taking notes on everything that I'm learning there in Notion. And I'm also going to be creating a zettelkasten, which I had talked about before, which is it's like a box full of index cards or slip notes, so to speak, where you start to put together ideas that you're getting from different things. And so if I were trying to learn about manifestation and personal growth and healing and trying to be my best self, and even things that have to do with criticism or how to handle criticism or how to be more confident, I'm going to be learning a lot of that stuff and then creating connections between it so that I can hopefully at sometime in the future teach it better myself when it comes to manifesting classes or other things. It is very similar to a commonplace book, Jennifer. I can't even say that I fully understand the concept yet because I'm just getting into it, but it is, y'all, the rooster's in my front yard again. Gus, 3 chickens. Why do they keep coming up here when I'm here? We've been letting them roam free a little bit, and they're just running across in front of me, but they seem to be going back where they're supposed to be. So we're all good, but it is kind of like a commonplace book, and Obsidian is where most people do their zettelkasten these days. Obsidian is, an online tool, and that is probably the number one place that people are doing electronic zettelkastens. So if you, like I said, I can't really fully get into the weeds of it, but if you talk to people who have zettelkasten, they say that what Ryan Holiday has is an index card arranged by topic, not a zettelkasten. So the difference is it a hierarchy that's a top-down hierarchy where you say, here's all my cards on confidence, and then you have all the cards on confidence? Then that's not a zettelkasten. It's an index card system. And it's technically different than what a zettelkasten is meant to be, which is meant to be non-hierarchical and more of a conversation. Now, I understand that in theory, but do I understand it in practice? Not 100%. I think it's ZETT. I think it's this, but it could be LE. I'm not sure if anybody has it handy, but if you search for that, you should be able to find it. I think it means slip box in German. I think we have some German people here that might know. Yeah, it is quite confusing to see. It's EL, so I spelled it correctly. It is quite confusing because our brains were trained so much to go by topic. So it seems natural to want to put a header that says confidence, or if you were studying how to write, it would be like, here's all the stuff I know about characters versus plot versus, dialogue, but that's not actually how you're supposed to do it. George likes it when my hair is straight. Thank you, sweetheart. I love you. So there are several people in our community that already have zettelkasten, so you might understand it. The organization is very different from commonplacing or taking notes by topic. It's in a similar vein, but it is different. And trying to understand and wrap my head around exactly how it's different it's much more free it's not so strict in terms of how you have to put it together. It's much more free so that it's supposed to allow for ideas and connections, like you're learning and having a conversation with the material. But am I going to be able to put it together? I don't know yet, but I'm going to have a lot of fun working on it. That's all I can tell you. Because I feel like everything I've been thinking about over the last few years in terms of what I've been doing has all been either, is this for my kids, which is me to other people? Is this going to make money, which is me to, thinking about products when I create? Or is this something other people need and how can I help people? And every single thing I've been doing has been either that or is someone waiting on this that I need to get this to them? And my focus, which is a very good focus, I'm not saying I've been selfless, but I'm just saying I have been thinking a lot about how I can create for others for years. And I am wanting to take some piece of that back to myself this year and say, how can I do things that are not for money, not for anybody else, just for me? And it feels selfish to say that, but I feel like this is my time to do it. And I think it will be good for me in the long run to have some things that are just for me, that are just for fun, that are just for they love my voice. They're like, "Oh, Sarah's live and she's talking. Let's go listen to her a little bit." What kind of stone is my necklace? So my neighbor designed this. This is a sunstone from Oregon, mined in Oregon. It's like a beautiful sunstone and matching ring. I can show you the ring a little closer. You can see that. This is all her design. So beautiful. So I think my hope for what this will do for me to have this time just to myself every day of yes, I do follow Victoria Crowder. There's also the Lilith something. Some people have shared some links with me about some of the people that are doing zettelkasten, specifically some women that are doing it on YouTube, and I am following them. So I will share more as I know. But there's something that really excites me about just having this thing that belongs to me and really nourishing myself a little bit and like kind of getting back to the joy and the fun of something that isn't for profit or for anyone else or for pressure of like, oh, I got to do that because I promised it, but instead just something fun for me to do because I'm excited about like being a better person and being, immersing myself in the world of learning again. And I'm going to do all the fun stuff. Like I have said for a long time that if I almost wish that I was a student just starting out with like an iPad and index cards and all the things that cool kids have these days. Because when I watch those study channels on YouTube of the kids that are like kids, I say, but like people just now going to college or just in high school, and they've got all these like mild liners and their iPads and like all this stuff. I'm like, I had none of that. I had a Trapper Keeper and, a ballpoint pen. And that was what I had. And I did try to like draw fancy borders on my stuff. At one point for Christmas, I had gotten pink and purple paper, and then my teachers refused to let me use it. So I was the rebel that was like looking through the handbook of the school that was like, they can't actually tell me that I can't have pink paper because the handbook for the school county said that teachers have to accept work on whatever students can afford to turn their paper in. So for 2 weeks, I turned all my paper in on paper grocery bags. That was me. I was a jerk. I was like, I want to use my pink paper. But anyway, I think it'll just be so fun to pour into myself. So Project 48 for me is a process right now of setting up my Notion journal, which I'll be doing over the next week. And I will, if you guys want to see it once it's fully set up, I will do a video and share with you kind of how I did it. I'm going to be setting up, I don't need to buy anything new, but I will be going through my own collections of like dot markers and highlighters and putting together this. Maybe I'll just use this like super sweet new plans pouch and putting all my stuff in. I've got my zettelkasten stuff over here. And oh my gosh, you still have your Trapper Keeper? Oh my, I bet that's worth a fortune, by the way, like an OG Trapper Keeper. So cool. I know it's like malicious. Listen, I will say I had fun teachers that kind of laughed about it instead of getting really mad at me about it. It could have gone very poorly because they thought it was clever. But they did let me use my pink paper because they got tired of the or not plastic bags, but paper grocery bags. It's so true. I did. I still have mine too. Lisa Frank. I'm so jealous of this. This is so cool. Oh, I have 2 apps on my iPad that recreate index card. Cardbeat is one I'm using now for my book outline. I've never heard of that. Cardbeat. I'm writing it down. So many apps that are for iPad they don't have on Android. I've been trying to use my Samsung more, but I'm going to write it down just in case. But I am excited. And here's one thing I want to say in terms of how I want. Part of the biggest challenge for me is that I want very badly to accomplish all of these things. And so I want to be writing more books. Can I go from just 1 book this year to basically 5 books next year? It feels like a lot of expectation on myself. And I'm just going to take it 1 month at a time. And it may be very enormously clear by the end of January that, like, okay, even though I'm working with new people and this is going to be something different, I can't do this. So I reserve the right to like completely change my mind there, but I'm hopeful. I'm going to still be hopeful that I can do it. Then I also still want to run courses. We're going to run this event in New Orleans. I'm speaking in Australia next year. There's a lot of other things happening, but I feel like, and this is just my intuition talking, that I have been sort of climbing a mountain with a backpack on for the past few years without actually having any shoes on. I don't know if that analogy will play, but it's like I'm pushing really hard, but I didn't actually have my foundation under me, right? Like I'm almost like I'm climbing the wrong side of the mountain, and all of the, like, I'm climbing the side that instead of going up the path, I'm like on the gravel, and I'm keep like trying to force myself up the mountain, but it keeps slipping out from under me. And somehow I've still been managing to climb the mountain, but what if I take a little bit of time to walk around to the other side, put on some shoes, build my foundations under me, and then actually walk up the path? I don't know if that just made any sense at all, but that's just what popped into my head of like, I've been doing it the hard way. And it is time for me to stop and say, I'm going to secure my own oxygen mask. If I'm going to mix metaphors, somebody said that yesterday in chat, that they said, I should have secured my own oxygen mask before taking, putting everything into my special needs children, because it's like, you want to give and give and give, and you think that the giving is the most important part. But then eventually you have to stop and say, I have to secure my own oxygen mask first so that I don't die trying to do and accomplish all these things I want to accomplish. Like, I have to be able to breathe to be able to be my best self. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm going to use this time to create my own syllabus. And what the process that will look like is, like I said, setting up Notion. Jess, did I think about setting it up in a bullet journal? Yes, I did. And I was going to do it. And now I've chickened out. It's going to be in Notion, I think. But I might still head to your channel and check out some of your ideas, because maybe I'll do a bullet journal also, but just like with the syllabus. I don't know. We got to figure it out. But I am going to go through all the courses, all the podcasts, all the things that I've already purchased. I don't want to buy anything new. Just all the things I've purchased, all the things I'm already aware of, and create for myself a monthly plan of like, okay, I know I want to do more morning routine stuff. So I've got my tarot journal and my scripting that I already was pretty good at this year. So I want to continue to build on that as a habit, but I want to add in some exercise in the morning. And I want to see if I can find, if anybody knows a good resource for walking meditation, let me know, because I am not really great at meditating when I'm having to sit still or lay down, because I fall asleep. Even if, whether it's the morning or afternoon or nighttime, it does not matter when it is during the day. If I lay down, I'm going to fall asleep. And I have a hard time meditating because of it. And so I know that there are walking meditations too. So if you know of any, let me know, because I really, really want to do some walking meditations. And if not, if I can't find any, I'm going to create my own process for it, because I would like to get on. We have a treadmill in our house. It's right in the middle of our living room. I want to start using that more. I want to go on walks more when the weather is nice. And I'm going to start that as a foundation for morning routine, but I'm going to resist the decision or the urge to add like 12 new routines on. So for January, I'm planning to just add in that morning walk and setting up the journal and everything. And that is going to be um that is going to be basically going through the courses and deciding which things that I want to do. So I have joined earlier this year, I joined To Be Magnetic, which they call TBM. The podcast is called the Expanded Podcast. And it's basically meditation. And I've struggled with it because it's like, they call it deep imaginings, but it's basically meditation. And I've struggled to do it every day, even though I think it would help me because I fall asleep. So I got to figure that out. So that's part of what I want to do in January is figure that out. Uh, does Headspace have walking meditations? Thank you. I'm going to check that out for sure. Okay. I'm definitely looking at that because I have used that before. Oh my gosh. Zombies Run. My sister did that years ago when she was trying to learn to be a marathoner, which now she's run 4 or 5 marathons. And she told me about it. And I remember purchasing it. I wonder if it's like the kind of thing you purchase once and you have forever, or if you have to rebuy it every year. But thank you for mentioning that because I forgot about it because it's like a story that gets you like walking and then running. Because I think I had the couch to 5K version of Zombies Run. So glad you mentioned that. I am I'm excited for this. Like I'm going to sit down and I will share with you all if you want to see it once it's all set up uh what my syllabus looks like. And if you feel inspired by this cuz you're like, "Oh yes, I think this will be fun. Let's set up a syllabus. I want to learn too." Then thank you, George. That's very sweet. Then come join me because I'm going to share with you what my syllabus looks like and I'll share with you the process of basically how it's working and how I'm doing it. Part of the big piece of it right now is just making the decisions, setting up the Notion template, and then also creating space in my schedule. So as I'm planning my quarter Q1, I have to carve out space in my very busy life to say, this is time that's just for me. And that has been really hard. But if you are also someone who has not been spending that time on yourself, I encourage you to start thinking about Q1 in a way that says, can we create space just for ourselves instead of pouring out to everybody else, giving our whole lives to responsibilities? Can I pour back into myself, even if it's just 15 minutes a day of doing something you love? Like part of my syllabus, and I know this is going to sound silly, but part of my syllabus is taking more baths and reading more fiction as well. I'm going to do all this stuff. And the key is just going to be, how can I do it all without, being too busy? Hi, Akshara. How are you? I feel like I haven't seen your name here in a while, but it's so good to see you. I want to see you zombie run. I know. If I remember, the 5K version of it was like, it would be like you're walking and then suddenly you're like on your way to the next tower or something who needs supplies. And then suddenly there's a zombie behind you, like run for the next 30 seconds or something. I don't know. It's really fun. One task block on weekdays for this. Yeah, Augustina, exactly. Like kind of just setting aside that time for myself and making it, here's the piece that's important, making it non-negotiable, right? Like just saying, this is for me. And if other stuff doesn't get done, it doesn't get done, but this is time that's just for me. And I'm a little bit nervous about it because sometimes have an easier time getting excited about stuff than I do about following through. But I'm ready. I'm ready for this. And part of it is going to be part of my syllabus too, is going to be keeping my spaces more clean and organized. These are going to be like tasks really for my third goal in HB90, but I'm going to be using that third goal. So my first goal is all those books and things that I'm doing for Heartbreathe or for Sarra Cannon. My middle goal is basically just keeping up with heart breathings. I'm not going to be really creating anything new in the beginning of the year. I'm mostly just going to be like running the same courses. Oh my gosh, it's Vivian is here too. Oh my gosh, some of my favorite people. So glad to see you, Vivian. You guys are all my favorite people. It's just fun to see names I haven't seen on here in a little bit. Yeah, I think it's going to be really fun. And I can't wait to share it with you. It's going to be awesome. For those of you in the Broken Chapter Society too, I'm going to be posting in just a few minutes on the Broken Chapter membership, like subscription, whatever it is, the posts. I'll probably do a short and then also a post because I want to do something for New Year's and I want to see when's the best time for everybody. So we can do some live stream. We might do another 2-hour live stream. We might do a vision board party. So I'm going to let you guys vote on what you want to do. But in terms of for the greater Broken Chapter Society, I know it has been a little slow to get started, but I have now pretty much decided all the little things that are coming in. They're starting to come in. Not everything is here yet, but I'm going to be starting our Discord server. So be looking for that to be coming through pretty soon, that we're going to connect this to a Discord server. And then I'll start mailing stuff out and all this is going to come together. In February, we will start reading A Mirror of Shadows. And that is when things are really going to take off. So thank you for those of you that have been hanging in there without a lot of extra content. But when it gets started, it's going to be super sweet. And yeah, this is awesome. HB90 is coming in an hour. So I will see you guys for 2 hours this afternoon. But yeah, this was fun. An hour goes by so fast. So I'm going to go actually package up a few more books from the book order. And if you ordered something from the last, like previous order, those will all be out, including international ones. You should see your shipping notification come today or tomorrow. They'll all go out tomorrow morning. Same with giveaways. And then we're going on a slight little vacation. So all the rest of the books will start going out right after Christmas. So it's going to be great. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I just love you and adore you so much. And we are almost to Christmas. I think I'm still going to be live for a coffee chat next week, even though it's Christmas week. I'm still planning to be here. So if you are not traveling, then come join me. But if I don't get to see you before Christmas, or whatever it is that you're celebrating this time of year, I want you to know how much I appreciate and adore you and love you. And yeah, I'm just grateful to my core and feeling really happy. So thank you for being here and happy holidays. And I will see you soon. All right. Bye, everybody.